How's it going, everyone? Unretired here, and today I will be showing you the ultimate viable tank build. Now, it's important to say that this would be a tank build that's better suited for group play more than solo play. So on that note, I will be posting another build video of a tank, but for solo. All right. So I'll just first show you the stats that I put into strength, cunning, and to spirit. I will after show you the skill points attribution that I from the skill windows, and afterwards devotion, and I'll show you the gear and whatnot and what to put, what I put. You can put whatever you want, but this is what I put to have more of an optimal tank, and it's viable for ultimate gameplay. All right, let's start this off now. So as you can see, it's level 85. Physique, I have up to 954 points. Cunning, 313 points. Spirit, I'm at 299. Now, it is also possible that some of these stat points have been affected by the distribution of points from devotion as well. But this is pretty much what you would want to have as a tank based character. You do want to have 900 plus physique. Life is important, defensive ability is important, especially for group play. You need to have a good 80% resistance. I would have to say minimum 80% resistance to everything that is shown here. So these are elementals. Fire, cold, and lightning is considered elemental resistance. So if you have a piece of gear that says elemental resistance, it will affect these ones. Now, maximum, if it says a plus 5% maximum to a certain resistance, well, it'll affect only that resistance. I just had to say that because I do believe there is some kind of confusion regarding that the resistance part anyways. Alright, so this is pretty simple, straightforward. As for skill points, only soldier. I only went for a soldier build. If there is a request for a hybrid tank build, I can definitely accommodate. However, it's more of a testing and testing and testing. And so you have to see if it's optimal, if it's optimally good for ultimate and for solo play and or multiplayer play. Perfect. So full 50 points in for your stats in soldier. Max cadence, all right, because you're not going range, you're going melee, right? So 16 points into this, max it out. I've maxed out fighting form to 12. Okay, I'm just leaving it there so you can actually see the stat points. Good crit and physical damage and bleed as well. I have maxed out deadly momentum as well. Good plus physical damage, internal damage, and bleeding damage. So it actually works very well with your cadence. These are mostly the ones that I've maxed out. I put 1 point into force wave, 1 point into rending force, and I got 2 into internal trauma. Now you can only put 1 if you want here. Redistribute, up to you. I put 1 point into Markovian's advantage. Okay. Now, max out military conditioning, very important. You want that physique and health. I put 12 to 16 on Minier's will. Up to a certain point, it's not worth putting as many more points because it doesn't give you as much up to the maximum amount of points. So I put 12, and I have plus 1 skills to it as well, so it'll add up all together real quick. And I only put 1 point into fighting form. 10 points into shield training, very important for the it's only 31 physical damage, but the minus 33% shield recovery time I believe is quite important, especially tank based characters. Plus 20% shield block chance, very good as well. 8 into overguard. Overguard is it's not a passive skill, it's an active skill, so you have to activate overguard for it to work. Now I did put 1 point into blitz and 1 point into blindside. Again, I do have plus 1, so yeah, it'll go up there. 1 point into blade arc, just to add a bit of that bleed effect, I did put 1 point into the clean sweep, so it generates more threat and a knockdown. So the threat and the knockdown for multiplayer play, very important, I believe, in my opinion, because it plays very well with your war cry. I only put 9 points because I have +1s that'll just generate more points into it. 1 point into Sultan's technique, 1 point into veterancy. Plus HP per second, plus 10% constitution, minus 3% physique requirement for armor. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, you can go higher than that, but I only want 1 point. As I was saying for Warcry before, it's very important for threat generating because it is a taunt, and it taunts as an AoE in a 13-meter radius. So if I go here and I go like this, as you can see, this is a 13-meter radius. Yeah, let's go back here. Sorry. And I put 3 points into Terrify. 33% chance of terrifying your targets for 2.8 to 4 seconds. Very, very important, especially if you're going tank, especially ultimate. It's very important that you have skills that knock down, that stuns, that freezes, anything that'll slow them down in their tracks, that helps you kill them faster, is a must. I have to say this right away. It doesn't matter if it's tank or a DPS. Very important to have. From the Warcry, I put 10 points into Break Morale. It does cost 31 energy plus the actual energy cost of 67. So it is a high cost for Warcry, but it disrupts your target's skills for 5 to 6 seconds, meaning that your targets don't really do any kind of special abilities except try to hit you, and that's it. And it reduces their physical resistance by 5 seconds. For the Blade Arc, I put 1 point into Laceration. Again, more for a bit of DPS generating. You need it a bit. Max 12 points into Field Command. Very important. It is your aura that helps everybody else as well. 12 points into Squad Tactics. Max points into Decorated Soldier. Again, very important. Look at that. That 20% elemental resistance, 20% slow resistance, and 50% physical damage. Very important. Max that out. I have 7 out of 8 in Scars of Battle. Again, resistances, stun duration, freeze duration. Very important. I have +1 skills, so I just put 7 out of 8 on this one. At this point, I was trying to find some points to put it into, so I put some points into Counter-Strike. Especially being a tank, you're just going to counter your opponent's attacks, which is pretty good. I've been testing it out, and a couple points into it actually makes it a bit more DPS generating. Very important to have 12 out of 12 for Menhir's Bulwark. It is one of the most important self-aura skills that you can have on your build. So 15% damage absorption, good for tank. 92 physique damage, plus 40% stun duration, health regeneration, constitution, 50% resistance to life reduction. I love that. Plus 75% all retaliation damage. Perfect. Now, I will go on to Devotion. Now, this is how I put my Devotion points. You do not have to follow this. This is how I've been playing the game, the tank that I've been playing. So you can follow it and see if it works. If it doesn't work out, you can just undo the points, just buy the potion and just redo the points. Okay, it's not a big deal. So I started off with Crossroads. I put 1 point into the 5% health. I maxed out the Turquoise, so it's more defensive and health, as you can see. I'll just go over them. Defensive, physical requirements for shield, again, health and defense, defense, and armor increasing. And you get Turtle Shell, which absorbs damage. I just put it on my Menhir's Bulwark. You can put on anything, basically. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Alright, generates 2 and 3 other constellation bonuses. I maxed out the Sailor's Guide. So again, cold resist, lightning resistance, slow and reduce freeze duration resistance, physique movement speed, and some bit of physique. I put max into EO, so defense, avoidance, and pierce resistance. Love it. I'll go over this one afterwards. I maxed out Hound, so physique. Okay, don't mind the bonus pet because you don't have no pets, but the 10 physique. 72 pierce retaliation plus 20% all retaliation damage, which is quite good. Plus 15 physique and the retaliation damage again. Now I'll just go over these ones here, the ones above, and then I'll go back to this one here because yeah, that's it. Dryad maxed out, 200 energy, poison and acid resistance, health and energy regen, reduction to bleed and poison duration. Spirit requirements. Now, I chose specifically Dryad because of the minus 10% spirit requirement for jewelry, as the legendary rings or medals or amulets require a substantial amount of spirit, and most people won't put a high amount of points into the spirit. So if you didn't put a lot of points, the minus 10% will help you in the long run in when you obtain and putting on those jewelry. And the last skill is a Dryad's Blessing. Restores 3%, 124 health restored, poison and bleeding reduction. Yeah, it's alright. I do have max into Targo the Builder. Let's go take a look at it. It is not maxed out, but I did put enough points to get the shield wall. Sorry. So I put defense, health, and plus health percentage, shield blocking, and the shield wall. Alright, shield wall is quite good. I put it on my blade arc because you're just going to be using your blade arc very, very often. I put 2 points into Crane, 8 physique, 8 spirit, and the resistance, mostly because I wanted the resistance here. Now, I have maxed out Shield Maiden. Shield block, absorption, shield block and stun duration, chance of 1 second of stun retaliation, which is not too bad, 50% all retaliation damage, 18% shield damage blocked. Maxed out Obelisk of Menhir. That means retaliation 100%, 30 def, 10% armor, 15 def, plus 5% defensive ability, shield block, shield damage block, stun duration, freeze duration again, and your skill would be Stone Form. And I put Field Command into it because Field Command is always active. That means you're actively getting experience on it. I took several points into Yulo the Keeper. As you can see, I didn't put points into Cleansing Water nor the Chaos Resistance here. I put into 10% Elemental Resistance, 20% Poison and Acid Resistance, 15% Elemental Resistance, and I maxed out Tree of Life, 8% health, regen, 12% health, DF and HP regen, health regen, and your Healing Rain. I put it on Overguard. Perfect. Now let's go take a look at the gear. Alright, so I have a full Markovian, I have a full Markovian plate mail, Markovian set. So I get the resistance bonus, shield damage block bonus, the +2 to all skills soldier. Now you can go 4 out of 5 if you have a 5th piece that is much better. But I like getting that 5th piece bonus to get Markovian's Vigilance. 15% chance when hit. Markovian it's 15%. So basically it's what's the Vigilance? Basically, yeah, I think you're never really knows because mobs die so fast, but I think that's what it is. Your mob just dies, but it's a 15% chance. So let's go put on our Markovian stuff here. Did I put everything? Okay, let's just put on all the gear. Perfect. Now, as you can see, I do have 2 here. I'll just go over the gear real quick. I have an Earth Splitter. It's not really what I wanted to have, but I don't really have the best in slot weapon for it. It's a Reaver Claw. Yeah, but this is pretty good. I put a Hollowed Fang into it, and our augment 8 defensibility, Aether resistance, Chaos resistance. I have one ring of Life Giver Signets, so lots of life on that. Offensive ability, resistance, maximum vitality resistance. I put Corpse Dust, and I also put Corpse Dust on the other ring. And again, 15 physique, defense, and retaliation damage as your augment. Same augment on this one, except this one is the Open Hand of Mercy. I'm still looking for the Closed Fist of Vengeance, unfortunately. I would like to try out the set bonus. So when I do have it, I'll try it out, and then if this set bonus is better than having the Life Giver Signet, I'll totally replace it. I do have Markovian's Distinction. This is part of the 5-piece set for Markovian. Now, for the amulet, you can there are other amulets you can put, but I like the pluses, the resistances, and resistance is so important. Like I said, you need a minimum of at least 80%. Markovian Visor, I'll just let you take a look at that. It's pretty good on resistances, the +2 Markovian advantage. Shield, Markovian Bulwark, I put a what's it called, Mark of Myrmidon on that, and it allows me to use Blade Barrier, which is very good. Now let's go to Markovian Vanguard, which is my shoulder. I only put a Scaled Hide. I didn't really know what to put into it, to be honest with you. It has lots of resistances. It does good damage. I have Handguards of Justice. Now I do know that there's something way better than this that I could have, but I don't at the moment. And I put Unholy Inscription. And why did I do that? Mostly because it provides me 10% and 15% on Vitality and Bleeding resistances. Don't forget your Augment, which is 15% poison and acid resistance on this one, and so is your other piece of gear. Boots, I got Earth Shadow Treads. Very good. I looked at the proc on it, Ground Smash, love it. For my medal, I have Mark of Divinity. Very, very good for your maximum elemental resistances, which would be here Fire, Cold, Lightning, which is a +5% maximum. And you already have a 30% elemental resistance on it as well, which makes it very good to have. Doesn't even really matter what kind of class that you're playing. Just the stats on it make it a must-have. Alright, must have. I don't care about the +3 Flame Touch and Olsen's Chosen. I can always do that on a Demolitionist. But for him, it's pretty good. I love it. I have Tinker's Ingenuity. Resistances again, 15% physique requirement for armor, down. Avoidance, 9%. Health regeneration. I love it. I mean, this is pretty good. For Relic, I have Juggernaut. +1 to skills to all soldier is what I put. There are some defensive relics that I can put in. However, I found that this one is better suited for the build. Thornhide Legguards. This is more for a retaliation build, but I don't have any other pants, unfortunately. But it does provide me +2 Counter-Strike and +2 to Menhir's Bulwark, and a 30% chance of enemy death for Thornhide. Markovian Plate Mail, which is our last piece that we'll be showing you. Lots of health, resistance, physical damage, +2 to Scars of Battle, and +2 to Menhir's Bulwark as well. So let's go take a look at our resistances here. I have all around here for elemental resistance: Fire, Cold, Lightning, 85%, Poison Acid, 82, Pierce, 90, Chaos, 80, Stun, 80, Aether, 80, Vitality, 85, and Bleeding, 90%. Is it possible to get 100%? Absolutely, it's possible to get 100%. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. If you're just like a meat shield and you're absolutely not producing any kind of DPS output, let's say you want to do this solo, you're not really going to be doing nothing. It's going to take you forever to kill stuff. So let's put on our Menhir's Bulwark, Field Command, and we got 17,283 HP. I could get way more than that, but I chose the route of resistances instead, obviously. Now, if we go take a look at so we can use our Ground Slam. It died. Stuff doesn't die like instantly, but it's still quite good. I mean, I can stay in that Aether stuff right now like that. Kill that overmine, make sure I use my stuff. There you go, see? Use this. There you go. As you can see, resistance-wise, I was in that thing the whole time almost, and didn't really take any damage at all. So yeah, guys, this is my Markovian tank build. I hope you enjoyed it. Do try it out if you get the chance to get the gear. If you can't get the gear, compensate at least for the resistances, because it is probably one of the most important parts to play in Ultimate. This is Unretired. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.